Hello everybody. Yeah, now we have some volume. Okay, this is the Berlin Mitte Institut für bessere elektronische Musik. Now today with the Berghain Substance Dubstep special. Today we played you some music that you normally don't listen that much on the stream. It's called dubstep music, and to my side here, you can watch us on the video stream as well. Just check out Berlin-Mitte-Institut.de. Right to my side is sitting Robotic, one of the dubstep pioneers here in Berlin. Together with Freecamp, they have already started a couple of years ago some dubstep parties here in Berlin. And over there we have Scuba, running the Hot Flush label and making the Substance parties at Club Berghain. And yeah, thanks first of course for coming here. My big pleasure. And I'm gonna introduce you to the first question is gonna be like the most complex one, yeah, which are the people like always really hate actually. So tell us a bit about the music. Like, what is dubstep?
Well, dubstep's it came originally out of UK garage, but I mean the influences kind of come from stuff as far and wide as drum and bass, electro, whatever you want really. I mean the kind of holy grail I guess of dubstep is to have a set tempo and bass, but basically anything you want on top of that. So ideally kind of 135 to 140 and anything else really, as long as it's sub bass. That's always been the kind of MO I guess of dubstep, and it's kind of become less like that as the sounds progressed over the last few years, but you know that's still what we all strive for, or what I strive for anyway. What about you, Rob?
Me? Well, I think I got into it a little bit later than you. Early 2005. Yeah, so I'm a late bloomer, but yeah, there definitely has to be bass, and also for reproduction in the club, there should be good amount of sub bass in the speaker system in the PA, which is important. Other than that, it's really anything, and that's what I love about it. It's very open. Other than that, there has to be, like I said, the bass foundation, and other than that, anything goes. Atmospherically, in terms of the beats, it's very mixed, it's very varied, and that's what I love. You know, I can play basically a set that ranges in terms of emotions from, you know, one end of the spectrum to the other, and that's why I love it, you know. And I mean, nowadays people sort of shy away from the term even dubstep because it has become sort of pigeonholed into a certain sound. I don't want to name any names, you know, but but you know, I don't care really, you know. For me, whatever dubstep, I don't care if it has to do with dub or with step, you know. But the category still fits for me, and I like it. But Paul, what do you?
Well, yeah, I think that the pigeonholing thing is quite an important point, because it certainly has become quite. People have their set ideas of what they think it should sound like now, which was never the intention in the first place, really. I think of anyone who was making it from the kind of I couldn't call it the beginning period, but you know, obviously the kind of LFO bassline thing has become quite synonymous with the sound, but it's like there's a lot more to it than that. Really. Next question.
Well, you know, I'm going to give you like a more structuring question. Yet, you already kind of started with saying something like the grounder period of dubstep. Can you maybe tell us a bit about the development of the dubstep sound? Where does it come from? How did it develop? Some stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I mentioned that it originally came out of UK garage, which was obviously a London-based scene. I mean, kind of grew a little bit around the UK and slightly around Europe, but didn't really kind of break out really from its original kind of like London settings. So kind of like 2000, 2001, it, the darker, more percussive side of UK garage gradually began to turn into what is now dubstep. So acts like horsepower and LB and Z bias bass were pretty instrumental, really, in the kind of in the transition between, as I say, the kind of darker, more percussive UK garage sound and dubstep as it is now. Whoa. So yeah, as I said, 2001 was still called garage then. I mean, the kind of the 3 years after that really kind of brought the transition really from what was garage into what is dubstep now, really. So I guess by 2004, I suppose there was a definite genre, you know, with enough tunes to play a proper set of, you know, a dubstep kind of thing, you know.
So what are the first places that this kind of sound was played and celebrated?
Well, there's a club that's still going now in East London. It was monthly then, and it's since went weekly. But for certainly the first couple of years, at least, really, I think it was probably until 2006. In fact, it was a monthly thing. So really, that was the only place in the whole world where you could hear it, and really all it was a Thursday night, as I say, once a month, and really, like I say, there was didn't get busy. There was like maybe 100 people there, 150 people at the most, and the majority of them were producers making music, and the DJs were, you know, part of the crowd. So it was a sense of like people were making tunes, bringing them down on CD. DJs were going to get them cut and play them literally once a month, and that's the only time these people had a chance to play out. You know, maybe they were playing garage elsewhere or whatever, but that was literally it. It was in East London.
So, and can you tell me maybe a bit how this sound got like spread through maybe the UK and then even, like, I don't know, worldwide? I don't know how far is dubstep already reaching.
One of the most interesting things about the way the scene developed and the way the music developed was that it was really the first kind of like the first new scene to come out of the UK since the advent of widespread internet access. So it grew really quite quickly around the world, not in a mainstream sense or in a popular sense, but in terms of like small little scenes and, you know, little pockets of people in cities and, you know, wherever around the world. So kind of interestingly, before it got big at all in the UK, DJs were going and playing abroad, not getting paid, you know, good money or anything, but like, you know, you go and you get your, you know, hotel paid for, wherever, you'd stay on someone's floor, and that's, you know, I think it's certainly compared to, the most obvious comparison is to garage, obviously, into drum and bass, and it took jungle, which is obviously garage, didn't, you know, get there in an international sense, but it took jungle far longer to reach an international audience than dubstep has, and that's only because of the internet.
The internet. Okay, well, you know, we're at the point, Robotic, can you maybe tell us a bit about the early dubstep times here in Berlin or maybe even Germany?
I can certainly tell you about Berlin. I don't know about the rest of Germany. So yeah, early times was 2005, and it was probably similar to 2003 in an unnamed place in East London. Or maybe 2004. Yeah, so we, the Freak Camp crew, we were doing parties at a place called TH Cell, Die Zelle, which was